The Earth is hurting. Glaciers, once mighty rivers of ice, are dwindling at alarming rates. Coral reefs, vibrant underwater cities teeming with life, are bleaching and dying. Heat waves scorch the land while floods inundate coastlines. We are living in an era defined by a changing climate, a crisis largely of our own making. The evidence is undeniable, the consequences dire. This is not a crisis for future generations to face. It is a challenge we must confront now. The question is, will we rise to the occasion? The science is clear. Human activities are the dominant cause of observed warming since the mid-20th century. The burning of fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas releases massive amounts of greenhouse gases, primarily carbon dioxide, into the atmosphere. These gases trap heat from the sun, causing a gradual warming of the planet. Like a blanket pulled too tight, this excess heat disrupts Earth's delicate climate system, leading to a cascade of impacts. The evidence is overwhelming. Our reliance on fossil fuels is the primary driver of climate change. Every time we drive a car, power our homes, or manufacture goods, we release more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Deforestation, driven by agriculture and logging, exacerbates the problem by removing trees, which naturally absorb carbon dioxide. The more we disrupt these natural systems, the more we accelerate the pace of climate change. But it's not just about carbon dioxide. Other greenhouse gases, such as methane released from livestock and agriculture, and nitrous oxide from fertilizers, also contribute to the problem. While these gases may be less abundant than carbon dioxide, they can be far more potent at trapping heat. The cumulative effect of these emissions is pushing the planet toward a tipping point, beyond which the consequences could be catastrophic. The impacts of climate change are no longer a distant threat. They are unfolding before our eyes. Extreme weather events, once rare occurrences, are becoming increasingly common and severe. Heat waves are lasting longer and reaching higher temperatures, fueling wildfires that rage across vast swaths of land. Hurricanes are intensifying, fueled by warmer ocean waters, causing unprecedented destruction. Droughts are becoming more frequent and severe, threatening crops and water supplies. The consequences of these events are far-reaching. Coastal communities face displacement as sea levels rise, while food security is threatened by crop failures and livestock losses. Human health is at risk from heat stroke, respiratory illnesses, and the spread of infectious diseases. The economic costs of these impacts are staggering, measured in billions of dollars lost to property damage, lost productivity, and disaster relief efforts. Section 4. A battle for our future. Can we undo the damage? The question that haunts us is this: can we reverse the damage we have inflicted upon our planet? The answer, like the problem itself, is complex. Some argue that the damage is already done, that we have crossed a threshold beyond which recovery is impossible. They point to the melting of glaciers, the acidification of oceans, and the extinction of species as evidence of irreversible change. To them, the future looks bleak, defined by a world ravaged by climate chaos. But others hold on to hope, clinging to the belief that we can still avert the worst-case scenarios. They argue that we have the technology and the ingenuity to transition to a clean energy future, to reduce our emissions, and to adapt to the changes that are already underway. They point to the growth of renewable energy sources, the development of carbon capture technologies, and the increasing awareness of the climate crisis as reasons for cautious optimism. Section 5. Choosing our fate. A call to collective action. The future of our planet hangs in the balance. The choices we make today will determine the fate of generations to come. We can choose to continue down the path of inaction, to ignore the warnings of scientists and the pleas of those most vulnerable to climate change. Or we can choose a different path, one that leads to a more sustainable and equitable future. This is not a challenge for governments or corporations to solve alone. It is a call to action for each and every one of us. We must demand action from our leaders, holding them accountable for their promises. We must make conscious choices in our own lives, reducing our carbon footprints and embracing sustainable practices. We must educate ourselves and others about the urgency of the crisis and the solutions available to us. The time for complacency is over. The time for action is now.